Mr. Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to kind of highlight a few things. You know, these hearings to me are particularly strange because they tend to do them in a kind of very controlled fashion so that the public isn't allowed in a big sense, right? Yesterday in Las Vegas, there was like maybe 20 people from the public. It's all a dog and pony show to try to sell a bill that actually hurts the American people. Because when they have a chance to go and do town halls, I'm not saying every single one out on this dais, but to do town halls in their districts about this bill, in-person town halls, they choose not to. I went to a district in North Carolina because that member of Congress, Republican, hasn't had a town hall since 2017. I went to David Valadeo's district up the street, and he refuses to do an in-person town hall. I went to another district in Orange County. I had 3 live town halls in my district, including a telephone town hall and including a Zoom town hall. Here's the thing. This is all a dog and pony show because they want to control it. But they also want to avoid the responsibility for making their decisions. That's why even this past week, they canceled votes because they refused to vote on an issue that they didn't want to piss off their base about. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter an article into the record. Speaker Johnson cuts short House business to avoid vote on releasing Epstein files.
Without objection.
I would also like to introduce another article. Johnson shuts down House early to block Epstein vote.
Without objection.
In the end, it's about being there to do the work. I even offered the chairman yesterday, hey, let's actually have a real hearing. We'll pick a district out of a hat randomly. We will divide the audience. You can 300 people, Democrat, Republican, Independent, and let's have a real debate about this bill. Because what they end up doing is cherry picking information to say how this hurts or doesn't hurt, how it helps or doesn't help different people. I understand that's how the game is played, but even our gentleman from Arizona failed to, even the Republican polling in that bill, in that article, is terrible. It's in the negative. So it's like saying, oh, you guys suck more than we do, but we suck as well, right, on the one regarding how Democrats poll. And then he leads off this provision about who it helps, this bill, in this article from the Wall Street Journal. It actually says, what does it says? First, some explanation. The charts look only at the law's tax provisions, not at its reduction to spending on programs such as Medicaid and nutrition assistance, which will tend to affect their lower income beneficiaries. Tariffs which weren't in the law aren't part of the calculations. We mostly compare next year's tax system with what would have happened if Congress did nothing. So it's a very different article. Mr. Kester, you're, I get it. You want to keep more of your family and your farm. I get that. But that costs $250 billion over 10 years for that entire provision. You could have left it the same as it was, and you still would have been better off. At the same time, when it comes to the livestock industry, 45% of the people that work in the livestock industry are immigrants. But who is this administration going after? Immigrants. Mr. Huff, I'm assuming that you guys accept EBT, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, now they're cutting SNAP benefits that a lot of working people rely on that go to shop at your store, right? Go and shop at your store. So a bunch of us actually don't have a problem with the 199A provision. We don't. There was a debate amongst our side. How do we make it work? Mr. Fulton, Mr. Timmons, you guys talk about manufacturing, but 56%, according to the American Manufacturing Association, of all imports come to the United States to help manufacture things in our country are being, they're imported. They're going to be, tariffs are going to end up increasing prices. It's actually going to make manufacturing harder. So I agree with you that we got to do something to make sure that manufacturing thrives. Like deductions, we've been talking about that. We just have different ideas. Mr. Ra, I think that's how you say your name. We don't do dynamic scoring because it's insane. Because if we assume that this is going to do X, Y, and Z, say we pass a law and we're saying, hey, we're going to do tax cuts and it's going to create this much economic activity, when we are not certain, it's an irresponsible way to actually pass laws and budgets. That's not the way we do it. We should be doing static budgeting. Static. That's the way we do it in California. That's the way I was when we were in the legislature, because it's the most responsible way. So one of the things that I want to say is that this bill hurts working families. And in the end, no matter what is said here, the facts on the ground are going to speak for themselves. With that, I yield back.
Mr. Estes.